some of the animated Tolkien stuff, like the Rankin and Bass, when you see some of the way that the noses look and things like that, like it kind of throws that that little bit of vibe to it that way. So like,
yes,
it's neat.
absolutely, absolutely. The next figure is from the Deluxe Legion Builder wave, and that is the Deluxe Dwarf Legion Builder.
Yeah,
Which I don't know if I have, actually. I might have that.
I don't think I pulled him out.
He is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that figure now that I think about it.
He is. This is the first release of him with the helmet. I know we showed it off already with the Cavern Dwarf, but this was the new helmet that came with that. This was the new part on that helmet, and it came with the ivory style looking horns. In terms of layout, they were all standard parts, nothing new. The paint apps are non-existent. I mean, it is a blank canvas. Very gray. He's got the blue waist. The weapons are like a brass copper-esque kind of thing. Mm-hmm. The only paint is really just the adornments in the beard. But everything else is pretty standard, which makes for a perfect canvas to paint on. If you're a new,
they did that.
What's that?
You think that's why they did that?
Well, it was with the reinforcements, they were all that way. So there was a great way to keep the price point down, because the tooling price points were just the new pieces, and they were really inexpensive. I think, God, at the time, I think they were like $26 figures.
Yeah, 26,
I think at the time. So
you can't beat that price.
Yeah, so you're just buying them, and those are the figures that you buy to learn how to paint. Mm-hmm. Matt Stein, when he came on board, into the community, he bought some figures and just started with some rivets, and then just started doing some inlay. Mm-hmm. And within 18 months, he's the freaking patina prince, and he's doing stuff that blows your mind how amazing it is.
I love that patina. That patina looks so good.
Right. I mean, so these builders, like, don't knock them. Like, they're great if you want to army build them, but if you want to learn how to paint, these are the figures to go and learn off of it.
That's the first one I actually dyed one and painted it. Was the first that builder.
So, you dyed one, man. You're way more braver than I am. I'm not.
It was an experiment. I'll bring it up.
Yeah, let's see what you got here. Hold on, let me embiggen. Oh yeah.
Oh,
down he goes. Which head is that?
Bromden
head.
Well, it's the.
Is that the Bromden from the Legion's Con head?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? Hammer? Don't want to stay up there, but yeah, he's the first one. I ended up dyeing him, and just added some red into.
Yeah.
Kind of did a small rust effect on some parts there.
That looks good, man.
Now, what was great with the Deluxe Dwarf Builder is that they gave us the Magnus torso, which really beefed him up.
Yeah.
Because all the for the long up until then, all the torsos were just the same standard Legion torso. So this was the first time they strayed away from it and gave us a different style torso. Mm-hmm. So because this is right after Arethyr. So after Arethyr, we had gotten the Red Shield Soldier torso, and then we got the Magnus torso. So we were able to add a little bit more variety for the figures. So I know they haven't really given us one with the Red Shield Soldier one, but I like using those two to kind of make the dwarves smaller as well. So if you want one that's stockier and broader, you can go that way. If you want to shrink them down a little bit, you can go the opposite way too.
Okay. Good tip. That's a good tip.
That is.
Yep.
Yeah. Next is the reinforcements and then the re-release, I guess, of the Bronze Dwarf. Was there any change on that one? or is
No,
it basically the same?
it's the same. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same.
but a great figure.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Now,
those are great.
did they give a reason for like the term bronze or cavern dwarf? Like, did they say why, or is it in the lore or the
I
description?
don't believe that they. I'd have to go back and read the bios, but off the top of my head, I mean cavern just because of the gray vein mountains and the caverns of the dwarves.
Mhm.
You know that running through there. That had a little bit more sense to the name, but to the silver and bronze, I think it was just based off of a color
Mhm.
and kind of went with that. So
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. And the silver dwarf and the bronze dwarf are part of the faction is the oh geez, it escapes me. Same faction as Orange Steelhide is Artemis Silvercord with
The Basilia.
no, not Basilia. It's oh my god. Flock. Xylonis Flock.
Oh, Xylonis flock.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Next is the All Star 6, which is not out yet. Looking forward to that. Hopefully this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully,
Fingers crossed.
hopefully things get squared away and we're able to get these shipped to us. I know that they're made, they're ready to go. It's just a matter of some things, some evil forces holding things back from us. Hopefully we'll get these
Yeah.
soon
Keep
enough.
us from our figures that we want to
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, I didn't realize that Scally was a dwarf. It just, for some reason, it just didn't occur to me. And
Yeah.
man, he is super damn cool.
Yep. So now, except for parts, right? We're talking a lot of. There's some reuse, but there's some new stuff here, right? So you're getting the same shins, the same dwarf shins that we've gotten before, the same dwarf forearms, and you're gonna get the same, like a regular skeleton, how a skeleton would use like the from the elbow to the forearm. The thigh bone is the same thigh that we got from Terpiculi, or the Terpiculus. The belt and the loincloth, I believe, are the same ones as the belt. I don't know. The belt might be different from Terpiculus.
Is that that's not Sir Gideon's belt?
Well, it might be, but I just see that blue section that's hanging off, and I'm not sure.
No,
that-
yeah, you're correct. It's the same as the Terpicula.
It is okay.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, the scale mail is from Poxus, which is like I cannot wait for that to
I
arrive.
love that mail. That
Yeah.
I bought that off of eBay, just the Poxus, just that piece, just because I love the
I bought a Poxus just because I wanted the torso. Yeah, it's insane. The pauldrons are awesome because we finally got the matching set of the skull ones from the
That's the same
Gladiator.
thing I thought too. Yeah.
Which is great. The weapons we've seen them come through. The heads, both helmets are brand new sculpts, which is really really cool.
Yeah,
So this
I love
one
it.
you can see the skeleton coming through. You can that'll work well probably for anything skeleton wise, and then the previous one will definitely can definitely fall under the. Can we go back to the last one for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one is actually the barbarian helmet, just new wings. Or the wings that you'll see on there are the wings that are going to come with the
Exiles.
exiles from under the mountain.
They're just turned down.
They're just turned down, yeah. So you get it. So you get the new skeleton helmet.
So other than the pauldrons and the head, you could make this now, right? Because the shin pieces are from the new
so
from
yep.
Other than the waist piece.
So actually if looking at this photo right now, the only parts that you would need would be the adornments, the helmet adornments, and the other pauldron. You could make all of that right now.
Well, why haven't you made it, man? What's going on here?
My name's not Brett Stoddard.
Valid, sir.
Brett probably has 6 of them already made. We just
I'm sure
have
he
to
does.
see what he has in his collection.
I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah, I should
Oh
text
wait,
him.
are we gone? Are we on the?
I just see a dwarf on the
Oh,
screen.
I've got the layouts different. Sorry, let me change this layout here.
I mean, I'm looking at a dwarf, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right? How do I go back to?
There we
It's
are.
a story of a lovely lady. Wait.
Oh,
Extreme
hello now.
console. How do I go back to? Oh, brother.
There
I
we
don't know
go.
how to go back. I can't go backwards.
You goblined it all up.
Oh yeah, I messed it up. I screwed the pooch.
Now it's a goblin episode.
Right? Too many choices here. So also with that All-Star 6, it was both our again, which we'd already shown. And then he's gonna do let me see here. Let's put
No,
that.
you were saying you were getting ready to talk about there's some new figures coming.
Well, I was gonna say both was also going to be released in All-Star 6.
Yeah.
And then Reinforcements 2 has the Cavern Dwarf version 2,
Right.
which we already took a look at.
Yep.
And then finally we've got the Rising Suns Exiles Under the Mountain, which is just a freaking man.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm super excited for them. I mean that whole wave, but those.
I'm pretty excited about it too.
You think?
A little bit.
A little bit.
That is so rad.
Yeah, can you tell? Can you tell I'm ready for it?
You should have done the whole show with that on.
Right?
That yeah.
I've been okay with that.
I need to poke some holes for air ventilation.
You need some breather holes.
I think that's
oxygen tubes.
That's how I saw you at Legion's Con. I was like, and I instantly knew who you were, like without I mean, I knew you before, but when I saw that, I'm like, that's Anthony.
Yeah.
I knew
who else would be crazy enough to go get a sword and a helmet made for his own character, right? Yeah.
So is that pretty damn close to the actual? It looks great, man.
Yeah. So John and Rebecca McDonald, the amazing cosplay couple, went ahead and they made the helmet for me last year, and we literally worked off of photos because they don't exist. There's no actual physical thing of it, and even like we wanted to see if we could get like maybe some files to maybe like 3D print some bigger sections of it, and even with whatever clout that I thought I might have, I was told no.
I'm sure it was a friendly no. It wasn't like a hell no, but it was like
we were told no. So we did everything just off of photos, and we did it. And so John did all that work, and they sent it to me, and then I sat and I just painted it, and I printed out some copies of it on some just big 8.5 by 11. I'm just sitting there with just big bottles of Walmart craft paint, trying to just get it all done and get it all together. And so I think I'm pretty close. Well, I'll find out, hopefully year end, early next year, how close I am to it. And then this guy here is the sword that's in the is in the one of the weapons packs.
Look at that, man.
So I had Paul Sutt, who made the Arethyr blade for the studio, make this for me. Paul Sutt, who was a contestant in Forged in Fire, which is one of the blacksmith reality shows on the History Channel. Right. He made that for me. One of the specifications was, please do not put an edge on it because neither myself nor my son want to lose fingers or toes.
Right. Absolutely.
So, yeah. So what we'll do is when, when the Anton of the Forge, Chris Snapbeard and Kevin Dragobane, figures come out, we'll be able to tell everyone how to put together their own figures and kind of go from there. So
absolutely
cannot wait.
Yeah, me neither, man.
So,
awesome.
I mean, it's all new tooling.
Yeah.
The only cool thing, or not, it's not cool. It's cool, but we got a sneak peek. The feet on the female dwarf, we got those with the Legions Con dwarf legs last year. On those, yep, there they are.
So how awesome was that to get this?
Oh my God,
that had to be like a game changer for you.
Yeah, and I love everyone at the studio, and sometimes they like to pick on me. And sometimes they'll go, I might get a message. Wait till you see what we got going on. And I'll know they're looking to pick on me for something right afterwards. And they'll go, and I'll go, come on, guys. Like, no, I got to wait for or they'll reveal it and they go, hey, did you see what we put out there? And I'm like, oh, come on. Like, how soon can I get this?
Yeah, right.
Can I get a test shot? No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, nothing. So I am hoping to every small, large, and whatever other god that exists out there that test shots will be out and I can get a test shot of the Exiles from Under the Mountain. I would, if I had that would be like the coolest thing ever.
I wonder why they kind of put a halt.
I think they wait till they have a large run of it.
You think so?
Because when the last time they did it over the course of a couple weeks. And they were able to kind of focus on that. And think about it. I mean, it's been dragons, it's been figure obscura, it's been like just one thing after another and just trying to like do everything in between. So, and they've got a lot that's been running at the factory and trying to get stuff in there. So I'm sure we'll get, they have a plan. There's always a plan. We just aren't privy to it.
No.
And when it happens, we just go, awesome, let's do it. So
when it happens, we need to have our wallets ready.
That will never happen.
I was gonna say, if that's possible, it's not possible.
It'll never happen. They'll never allow us to be prepared for that.
No. Even if we think we're prepared, we're not prepared.
When you think you're prepared, they go, oh yeah, hold my beer, watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a dragon, here's a set of wings, here's a flame set. Oh, and here's all these extra figures. Yeah.
And then figure obscure right after that.
Yeah.
So now is a good time, I guess, for you to explain, or you sent to me the question, like, what makes a dwarf? What constitutes a dwarf?
Yeah.
And so you have an explanation for that. And then to end the show, we will do our top 5.
Sure.
Dwarves. So you asked me like what, and you've been asked that, I guess, yourself, like what makes a dwarf or what constitutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a question that gets asked a lot. And I think the easiest way to do it is to start from the bottom and work your way up, right? So the dwarves obviously are shorter. So you're looking at the dwarf lower assembly, right? So you're looking at the legs. As we discussed earlier, most of the feet are the same. Obviously, any feet could work. You could put whatever boots you want on there. As we're going to see with the Exiles, we're going to get different shoes, so that doesn't matter. The ankle peg is still the same. It's the 1.0 ball peg. But where it starts to change is the shin is much shorter than the standard shin. And then the upper thigh is much lower than the regular one. So like all through here. So pretty much from the thigh down to here, this whole assembly right through here is where you change the height on a dwarf from the lower assembly. On the upper assembly, the torso is the same, the skirt's the same, the crotch here is the same, the loincloth, all that's the same. You put the same torso on, like I mentioned before, Torgon's a little taller because he uses the standard 1.0 body that has the rigid static neck peg that's built into it. You can't change that height. But for the regular neck pegs that can swap in and out, there's this dwarf neck peg, which is much smaller than the standard neck peg. The neck peg on a regular figure is more towards the center, and then it's up much higher. So this allows for the beard to be able to sit out further over the torso. So
I didn't realize that.
Yep. So if I were to grab, I have a Sir Owain here. I have a custom Sir Owain that I have here, so pay no mind to all the extra stuff on him. But on Sir Owain, he's got the torso and he's got that taller neck peg, and then I've got this here, right?
Oh yeah.
So you're establishing a way different height level. So that's where you can kind of see where that goes. I mean, that being said, there are, I've seen people use the taller ones, the taller neck pegs, and we have a little bit of leeway on some of that. I'm not saying that anyone that does it, they don't do it that way, it's wrong, but just asking what parts make it different. And then lastly, the other big thing too is the wrist. The wrist on a dwarf is way smaller. The wrist is way smaller than the wrist on a standard figure.
I don't think I noticed that or realized that.
Yeah. So if you were to take this and put it on a wrist on a regular figure, you'll notice that it's way smaller. If you were to put like just on this gonks, if you have them, they match up different because of the length on them.
Okay.
So what will happen is it'll make the arm longer. So when he puts his arms down, instead of, being, at the thigh, it might be down like past the knee. So it's all about just, the proportions of the body. So if you're able to, again, if you don't have the parts, and you throw that out there, it's fine. And I've seen people do that. And you can hide it in photography in such a way where if you have your parts kind of facing forward and not this way, you're not going to see the length. So you can kind of hide it that way. But, again, to each his own. So it's whatever you need to do. But thankfully, with the way Mythic Legion parts are, with the soft with the tunic arms and the bear arms and the things like that, like you can swap all these parts. The only things that doesn't work on now is say like the barbarian arms. So like for the barbarian arm, you'd have to take the whole arm off at the elbow down. Same thing for the skeleton, the new skeleton builder. You have to take it from the elbow off, and then you have to do an armored section here and then put that in there to be able to make that work.
You're right.
So, but small little things, very minor, but I think that's cool. That adds variety, and then you get a figure like Monkey King that's got taller thighs and then the dwarf shins, and now you're able to have a mixed size in between there. So you're able to create like a whole different size and scale in between that line. So like I'm waiting at some point for the studio. Like I know they did it with Monkey King, but I'm waiting to see other figures get taller that way.
Yeah, I don't think I really thought about it because I had built this guy using the Sir Waltor parts and the dwarf legs from the 2-pack from last year. And I guess I just didn't notice that his arms, now that I look at it, I'm like, God, his arms are super long.
They're like ape arms, right? They look huge. Yeah.
But I didn't really think about it until you just said that I guess I didn't really notice that his forearms are shorter, or that the dwarf forearms are shorter than the regular.
It changes. And even like the dwarf, the dwarf, a lot of the armored hands that come with the dwarfs, they look a little small too.
Yeah.
but I love the leather gloves. So like I'll forego
Me too, yeah.
and use the leather gloves for better grip or the bare hands. So again, there's always a little bit of margin to, for your own customization, what makes it. I mean, at the end of the day, if Schmerber loves how that looks, then that is Schmerber's dwarf, and that is awesome. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't think it's wrong.
No, it's not wrong. It's that's your dwarf in your head, and you're happy with it. Then that's cool.
I like it.
I'm not going to sit there and tell you it's wrong. That's
But that's cool though that you had like the different pieces and you showed us, because I mean, I love dwarves, but I didn't really break it down like what constitutes or what parts constitute. I just assumed it was the legs, and I was wrong. Like I just assumed that, oh, he's got shorter thigh leg pieces, so that makes him. But I didn't realize that it's way more than that, and that the horsemen are much more genius than I gave them credit for.
The engineering behind it all is just it's awesome. It's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That being said, let's finish with our top 5. That way we can get some sleep. Matt can get some beauty rest. He's not feeling good, and we want to get him some Z's.
I do want to mention I did dig out the we're getting another dwarf weapons pack, and then you got the original
dwarf weapons pack. Yeah.
My address is 729 West Walnut Street.
I know what
put that in a nice address.
I have mine still in its case. I won't open mine up either. Yeah, it's a great one. That colorway on that is just
it's beautiful,
just gorgeous. Yeah.
Where did you get that at, Matt?
What's that?
Where did you get that at?
Oh, I traded for this a couple years ago.
Nice. I love that shield. Bromden comes with that shield, right? Does any of the other dwarfs come with that shield?
Scally's going to come with that shield. So we'll get more of them with Scally. Bromden, the Cavern Dwarf.
Okay.
So we got 3 of them with it right now.
Yeah, I love that shield. That's awesome.
And then we got the part 2 or Dwarf Weapons Pack 2 coming.
Yes,
with Rising Suns.
Rising Suns wave
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
more weapons, man. More weapons. I'm up for that. Definitely.
Yeah, I love me some weapons.
Me too.
And I love being able to take parts and pieces from a Legion part and another Legion part, and I'll just meld them and forge them together and make my own.
Yeah,
craziness.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna get this started. Number 5 for me. I gotta look. I gotta
I'm staring at mine too.
You kind of caught me off the guard.
Sorry. I mean, it's almost an hour and a half, man. We got to, I got to think about my viewers. People are going to be like, let's wrap this up, Schmerbs. Let's go.
I wasn't prepared to choose my favorite kid.
I know. I'm kind of just on the fly in it. I'm on the fly in it. And people don't come at me, but I'm going to say number 5 tonight is Bromden.
Okay.
And no reason. I just there's dwarves that I love just a hair more.
Let me throw you a curveball, because I think you might be going at it a slightly different than the way I got it in my head. Is when you said top 5, I kind of consider top 5 of what I have on hand, right? Yeah. So that's the way I'm going to do it, because I know once I get, say, Jorn, Thord, or any of them other ones, they're probably going to completely redo.
Anthony's got more to choose
from. This isn't fair, because mine's going to be like, oh.
Yeah. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I mean, I love all my kids here. So
Anthony, to make it more fair, my address is 729. we
just need you know what? Come to RetroCon. We'll do a play date.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm up for that. So yeah, just to what you got, Matt, if you want. That's what I'm doing. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not counting what we don't have, because if we're counting what we don't have, then I don't even need to participate. We already know what my answer is.
Right. Absolutely. So that's my number 5. Anthony or Matt, Who would like to go next?
Go ahead, Matt.
Number 5, I'll have to go with just your basic builder. Like Anthony said, I mean, you got a lot of parts here to swap around, paint. It's definitely a nice blank canvas for any of the people that want to get into that.
Right.
Even if you're not super talented like myself and just want to add some colors to it, this is where you would want to start. I would think.
Yep.
Even if you're not a painter, even if you don't want to paint it, it's still a great figure. It's still
just
awesome
like
something to play
Anthony
with.
Said on how Matt Stein started, right? Just filling in your rivets and stuff like that. Just adding that little extra detail, that little love, make it your own. There's no right or wrong way. It's how you feel, right?
Make sure you follow 13Z Customs, and you can see his journey. You can go through and see how he progressed through. It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna try to do this where I'm gonna pick ones where you guys haven't picked, so I'll be able to kind of play along.
Okay.
Because I can, I guess.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
I don't know if I want to do this to you, though, Schmervs. But my number 5.
Oh.
We're gonna put it out there. We're gonna put her out there.
That's all right. At least she's on the top 5.
She's in my top 5.
That's...
I mean, yeah. She's I love her.
That makes me
happy. I'm not gonna say I've had fan fiction in my head of her and some of the other characters, but I've had fan fiction of her and some of the other characters. Now she's got a sister. Now that I know she's got a sister coming out, forget about it, man.
She's got a sister. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, will that head go on? Would that fit on? No, because
it's a 2.0.
It's a 2.0, and the new one is 1.0, right?
1.0.
It wouldn't look right. Bummer. Yeah, she needs a new version, maybe her new head or something.
Well, you could figure something out.
Yeah. So my number 4 is not technically a dwarf, but I turned it into a dwarf, I guess you would say. I had this figure. I got it in a trade, and I like the head. I didn't really look at the body. I looked at the head, and I wasn't a fan, which people will probably disagree. It was Borrier, and I got rid of the figure, and Jordan had said, hey, that dwarf, the head on the builder pack matches Borrier's body. And I was like, say what? Mm-hmm. No. And so I went on a quest and bought another Borrier figure, sold the head, and bought the figure because I had the heads pack, and it does match. And that freaking looks like, I was obsessed. I'm like, I gotta find another Borrier, which sometimes is not cheap or easy, especially for some reason. Borrier got hot a year or so ago, and people started wanting Borrier. And so yeah, thanks a lot, Jordan. I wish you'd have told me that. Like, it was literally like a day or two after I'd sold my Borrier that he told me about that. But yeah, so the red on the like the piping and stuff on the armor, it matches color wise that helmet. And why they did that, I don't know. But
why they waited for like 3 or 4 years after the Borrier had been out and gone and did that, I don't know either.
These are the things that I wonder, like how
keep me up at night.
I blame Joe Vasapolo. He's got something to do with it, I'm sure.
He probably saw one, but it looked good. I knew that.
Yeah. But yeah, Jordan just offhanded. He's like, that Borrier, that head from the dwarf head, dwarf head, it matches perfect. I'm like, what? No way. I think it was like a customizing studio. And so, yeah, I immediately was regretful and was on the hunt and then I gave him I gave him some dwarf clogs instead of the hooves.
Yeah.
But I love this figure. Like, this has become one of my favorite. Sorry to
my first Mythic Legion, like full blown custom. I used a Borrier body as the base for it.
Speaking of, I've got a house seal.
Oh yeah,
custom.
Oh yeah,
that I bought.
I didn't bully you too hard into buying that.
No,
right?
no.
I didn't threaten to beat you with a sock or anything like that.
I was in love with these pauldrons. So the pauldrons really sold me.
They're from Zhao Zheijing.
Yes. So thank you. I had to just bring this up, but
actually, so is the head is from Zhao as well. Yeah,
that's sweet, man.
And that's one of those where I merged Legion parts together into that axe.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Love it. And you gave me a big sword too. And I don't know where the sword came from, but I love the sword.
The sword, I think
it's like a thick, almost like an anime kind of.
I think the sword actually might be. Yep, that's all part of that. It's all part of Zhao's. That's all. That's okay. Yeah, it's all very Warcraftian inspired.
The sword is freaking rad, man.
Yeah,
that's a great custom.
Yeah, I love this custom. I'm happy to have a Toy Forge custom.
First of many, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. So that was my number 4. Anthony or Matt? Who's next?
Okay, Matt.
I forgot the order already.
I did too. Number 4.
Go ahead. We're going to be upstaged by Anthony, whatever we do. So.
You're probably right. Well, I know you're right. Would be your bronze.
Yeah.
This is
I love the gold though. That gold for some reason it pops. It makes the figure even even cooler. I love the choice of that gold on there.
Yeah,
super cool.
I mean that's another one kind of like the other builder, where I mean it would be easy to add some colors and some touch ups, hit them rivets and stuff like that if anybody wanted to.
Yeah, I mean the ability to just go crazy even with the weapons.
Yeah,
because if you wanted to paint the gold, like the sword, if you wanted to paint the blade silver and leave everything else gold underneath, that would work. Right. Or if you wanted to paint the inside of the gold of the shield silver and then leave the inlay of the gold, like whatever you want to do, like it's great to do all that fun stuff. Experiment with it.
Yeah, it's a great foundation that you can build upon for sure. All right, Mr. Anthony, you're number 4. What you got?
I went with our own Chuck Norris.
That Mohawk.
I went with Thord. I mean, it just screams Banff. It's just badass, mamma jamma. Just doesn't take any gruff from nobody. Like he goes out in the cold with no shirt on.
I don't need no shirt.
I'm gonna go fight in the Arctic. I'm gonna fight an ice troll with no shirt on and just take them on with my and I got no hair on my chest either, and just take them on. Like
probably shaves it with the battle axe.
Probably does, and even like the shield, like that colorway on the shield, and he's so cool looking. I mean, and he was another one of those underrated, short run, underproduced figures, and ran into when he came out. The Kronos figure, the Kronol figure came out. And what a lot of people were doing is they were mixing because they didn't have a lot of barbarian stuff out at the time. So they were buying this for the torso, putting on the Kronos stuff and making barbarians, full height barbarians by mixing the parts and pieces that way.
Okay.
So again, been around for a long, it's like funny to see like what people needed to do at times. Like feel like old man in his rocking chair, but like I remember when people made the Mythic adjacent stuff because we just didn't have Legion figures. Now like you can get them really easy, but there was a time where we struggled and like tried to make Marvel Legends stuff work as much as we could. But now it's a lot easier. But we needed barbarians, so like you would mix and match all these kind of parts and pieces. But now we can get barbarians pretty easy now.
Right.
So, but
plus,
yeah,
it shows too that the studio kind of listens to customizers and people that are making stuff, or they will give you the pieces that you need to make some more cool customs.
Absolutely. I'd love to see a re-release of Torgen, like when they did that re-release, the reissues, and they had that stuff come out. If he had popped up instead of like Gonks or something else, he would have flown off the shelves. He would have gone.
What did you just say? Legacy's like, what? You talk about Gonks? How dare you, sir?
He would have flown off the shelves faster than than probably some of the other stuff that was out there. I like Gonks. I do too. Every time I go to shows, I keep scooping them up because it's the only way I can get a dwarf body right now.
Did you see him at
ToyCon? Yeah, Tony and I each grabbed one because we need a dwarf, so that's we grabbed one. And then Mike, Star Wars Mike, was right across from them. Yeah. And he had a dwarf builder, and I picked up a dwarf from Mike.
There you go. You can't. So, I think they were like $40. He's charging like 40 for any of the mythics on the table.
Yeah,
he had some good ones. So my number 3 is Cavern Dwarf version 1. Love the color. I love the version 1 beard is my favorite. I love these crazy horns that he's got. And the Darla cape just does it for me. I lucked out. I've told this a few times, but at last year's Legions Con, I was I think I was second in line. Dakin was in front of me, and they had some older figures there, and they had Cavern Dwarf version 1 on their racks, and I think I grabbed like 3 or 4. Just love this figure. So that's my number 3 for now, for the moment. Matt, you're up, buddy.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Lovely Lady in Blue.
Sweet Ragna.
Yeah, this figure, I mean, as we all expressed our love for her, she is, and I kind of like seeing the hate on her too, because
right, it makes me proud to be part of the few. Right. That love Ragna. It's almost like I'm a part of, and I've got her test shot. So I'm the president of Team Ragna. That makes me
I'll be your sergeant at arms.
All right. Right on. Yeah. That's my girl. Number 3, Anthony.
We're gonna start climbing the trees. We're
getting down to it. Getting down to it, man.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm really whipping them out now.
That's all right, man. I'm going to embiggen it because I just want to look at that figure.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Man.
So I didn't get to tell my story of Orn earlier. So I was doing a diorama commission for my buddy Eddie Salvatore. And we were going over. Yeah. Amazing. He's got such a tremendous heart and a collection that's insane how much of it that he has.
Yeah, he does.
So I was doing a 3-foot long multiple room foam diorama for him, and he was going to get me an Orn. I was missing an Orn, and I couldn't find him, and he had figured we figured what the rate was going to be, and he was able to figure out that an Orn kind of falls within that rate. And he's like, well, I'll just get you an Orn. And next thing you know, a week or two later, I get this weird package with Chinese lettering and everything in there. And here he bought it through some Chinese eBay market or something, and then just had him ship it to me. So again, another crazy fun figure. And all these figures that I've shown tonight, I've never paid aftermarket price for either.
Wow.
I mean, I've done the trade, like with the test shots for Valgard, but even those, like I paid it really cost me a test shot.
Right.
because I won the other test shot. So Valgar cost me a test shot. That was it. Everything else has been either through friends, generosity, or regular market price or things like that. So it's just been the right timing, the perfect scenario, playing the long game and all that stuff. But again, every character's got a story to it. Right. So that makes them all that much more special.
Absolutely. So. I agree. All right, we're down to it. Number 2. I'm like deciding right now. I'm like, which one is it going to be? I'm going to say, for now, I'm going to say my Silver Dwarf is my number 2. I just, I don't know. There's just something about this guy that I just high regard, man. I love this figure.
So technically, if I remember correctly, we did get him twice, right? We got him in the first, and then we got him in an All-Star re-release. Yeah. So it would, I don't know if we'll get him in a reinforcements ever, but man,
so I would love that though.
I'd buy a case of them.
Now, do you think they'll ever do reissues again? A lot of people say that's it for the reissues. You think they'll?
I think, which as artists, I get moving forward.
Right.
I appreciate moving forward. As a collector, as a person that uses the canvas, uses the figures as canvas, knowing what they already have, I'd love to have them again. But knowing what they've been giving us, I'm good with them giving us new stuff too.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
The new stuff that they give us, like, my God, like the Elijahs and the Aldrich and the Gideon Heavensbrand is just like, it's the gift that keeps on. It is the Jelly of the Month Club.
It's ridiculous.
I got 2 Gideons. I took the bird pauldron and I flipped it. So I've got 2 birds. I got flipped on both sides. And then I took that big jewel and that round adornment and took that off, and I put that on my Barbarian Battle Armor He-Man in front of the Barbarian waist piece. Like, just kept on going and going. Yeah. And then the other helmet, the visor helmet, the extra one, I took the Attila faceplate out, and now I got a Trevor 1/6 shooter custom, because now that fits in there. He's got that nice little look that looks like Trevor. So like, I just keep going with it. So like, I'm ready for the next whatever they have. So I'm good with them giving me the new stuff.
And I think it's cool too. Like, we all saw the Legions Con, for the 4 figures that are coming out for this year.
Yeah.
How they had Urxa, they had the Urxa head.
Yeah.
In there last year, they had was it the
Bromden and an Atlas?
Yeah, that's so they do give us some of the stuff from the old, and I love that. I think that's super cool, like Scaphoid head and stuff like that. So they give us back some of the older stuff too.
To not go down that avenue, but my mythic ride or die, my brother in arms, my oldest mythic friend that I probably have in the community, Mr. Pat Boyle. Mm-hmm. We were talking about it after we were watching the reveal, going, wouldn't it have been cooler if instead of those red eyes, we got the green eyes, and that skull was the Scaphoid green? Because we could have gotten like an evolution of Scaphoid of like
that. Would have been
going like to the zombie and more and more and more involved, and then like the final would be just a standard Scaphoid head.
Scaphoid, yeah.
Like, oh my God, it was so cool. Like, because Scaphoid, I've been known to say many times that skeletons are not my jam, but I love me some Scaphoid. He's like super cool, and if there's 2 people that I know that love Scaphoid, 3, Jonathan Hughes, Len LaGuardia, and Pat Boyle. But Pat loves making his Scaphoid pirates, And I know when he probably saw that reveal, he probably cried a little.
Right.
But I'm just going,
right
I'm just going, you know, bud, I'm just going to give you these parts and you're going to paint me an evolution of Scaphoid. I'm going to have the human, the not so human, the melty face, the more melty face, and then the skeleton. I'll just do a whole run of them. So, but enough of that stuff. We're talking about dwarfs tonight, right?
Yeah, dwarf night.
Yeah.
Dwarf night. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we can say that for Scaphoid Saturday nights.
Yeah. So Matt, you're number 2, buddy.
Number 2, as Anthony said, Chuck Norris.
There you go.
Torgon.
You got the winterized version.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great idea though, with the fur coat, rabbit fur coat, or whatever it was. I mean, I'm sure the rabbit's pissed off, but
some imitation rabbit.
Yeah, imitation rabbit's pissed off, but
yeah, he's awesome, and as we spoke about him in our deep dive there, he's just got so much to him and so much character, and the little story with the nose smudge, just good stuff all around.
Absolutely, good stuff. Good stuff. Anthony, number 2.
This is where it got tough,
man. Let's get down to it.
And this is like now for me where it got tough, right? So
tough choices.
So you're running into the house. Your house is on fire. Your wife is safe. Your kids are safe. You're all your other. You got to pick one of these things that come out of your house.
I don't know what I would pick. I would try to grab them all. I think
I would try and grab them both. But for my number 2, this would be the one that I would still leave if I had to pick one. Valgard's number 2.
Wow.
That's a hard decision.
Man.
I would imagine.
Valgard is number 2.
I probably would have left my wallet in the house and grabbed that Valgard, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I might just go out in the fire holding these instead. It might just be the better way to go. Right. Yeah. Just again, everything about it. Like I know there are Valgard haters that do not like it.
Really?
I mentioned earlier, Pat Boyle.
Yeah.
Pat Boyle does not like it. And I have told Pat he's got one. And Pat is going to leave that to me in his will. And still will not go skydiving with me now. I don't know why. He does not want to go bungee jump. I keep offering all these cool trips.
Alligator wrestling, anything?
Nothing. I won't go axe throwing with me. None of that stuff. I keep offering. Now that I know it's left to me in the will, it won't do it.
Now, do you have any doubles of like those more valuable?
No, because I was an idiot and I went through and I probably had 10 Torgans. But they're all in the different customs and crazy stuff because I've made ridiculous like silver dwarfs, all that. I've made so many different customs over the years.
Right.
I have every year I typically make what like I like to call my like a Hall of Fame, and I'll take like 10 of them and I'll enclose them in like a case. Like Michael's has like the Funko Pop case where you can put like 5 across and 5 across that actually has a light that you can light up. Perfect size for dwarfs. So I put some of them in there every year. And then those are the ones that like, they stop going out on tour with me to the shows and things like that. So, but when you look at them, you can see what I had a lot of at what time. You can see I had a lot of silver dwarfs. You can see I had a lot of Torgans. I had a lot of cavern dwarfs. Like you could just kind of see what was hot at that time. There was a stretch of bronze dwarfs. So it's kind of neat to see what my collection looked like at one time and where they're earmarked for time. So,
and did you think like, these are going to be valuable, or there's going to be like, I think a lot of people didn't have that in mind. Like, I'm not going to be able to find this figure again. Like,
and truth be told, I still don't think about, like, I have boxes of figures that if I, but I've yet to see them be the ones, because the ones that I love, like barbarians, I got one that's I'm itching. Like I'm gonna open it. Like I want to open. Like I want to smell it again. Like
Yeah.
But I know I should like be sitting on these things because like in
Telling you, man.
9 months, these things are gonna be like putting my kid through school kind of thing.
Telling you, man.
So,
It's like the new Valiant Knight, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
They're
why
scarce,
I like.
for sure.
I just, I'd love to get my hands on a bunch of deluxe Dwarf Legion builders again.
Yeah.
Just to have them for whatever.
Yeah, I think I have one that I guess I haven't opened it yet because I'm looking at my shelves and he's not here. So I must have one in a bin because I know I bought one.
I tried to keep one in box, and even that lasted not very long before I was like, nope, I need to make another something. Rip it open and getting into it and making whatever. So I tried.
It's that creative thing in you.
My brain never ever shuts off. Constantly making new stuff. I have like 30 different projects that are laid out across. Like if I could flip this thing and show you what I'm working around here, you'd go, oh my God, it's nuts.
Well, I'm nuts because obviously for me, number one is Ragna. I've got 3 Ragnas and a test shot, so I'm nutty, I guess. I don't know, but she's it for me. There's just something cool and different and weird, wacky. The colors, I don't know. There's just something about her I think is awesome. And maybe it's a little bit that people don't like her. Maybe that's something also in it. I don't know. But
you're feeding off their dislike.
That could be what it is. I don't know.
Feed on their hate.
I guess I mean I didn't really notice her at first. Like I didn't really think about this figure, and then I gave her a hard look one day. And I think Mark actually got her off the table at one of the Legions cons. Like she was a warehouse find, and he grabbed her for like $40. And I guess I just didn't really notice that figure. And then I was looking at his or something. I'm like, you know what, this is kind of a cool damn figure. And people just need to give her a chance. Come on, guys.
She was also an early release figure at a ZoloCon.
Oh, okay.
Her and I want to say Thalen, I think so there was a time when they used to have like early release figures.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be like 2 of them at a show because like Torgen was an early release at the Toy Con that the original Legions Con was. He was an early release figure. So, and I want to say that it was Ragna and because I remember scooping Ragna at the show and not getting the elf till later because I was like,
I love Thalen. Thalen's like, one of my favorites.
Like, elves. Ugh. I
love Thalen. She's one of my probably top.
Nah, she's a gorgeous figure. Now I know that Matt and I show off our Ragnas with a little chin, but you don't. Is there a preference?
No, probably not. No, I like all versions. Okay. That's just the one that I happen to grab. I've got another one. Up here. No, I love all the different versions. I actually customized one somewhat and turned her into a in disguise swig that I brought to Legions Con last year. Grab her. So someone had customized a Ragna and turned the blue into like a electric kind of pink color. And I can't remember who I bought it from.
Okay. I like that.
And so I had thought, what can I do with how can I swiggerize this figure? And so I kind of switched. I gave the legs and the soft goods stuff. This part down is swig, and then the chest is Ragna, the head is Ragna, but the arms I think
look like swig as well.
They're swig.
Swig as well,
swig.
Yeah. And then I had to hollow out the earpieces. This hood is from Dan Tobin, and so I had to kind of do a little dremeling for the hood because I thought it would fit better and it didn't. So
No, that's cool. I dig it.
And I was like, I don't really want to change her back. I kind of like this version. It's kind of like a, in disguise, even though she's not really in disguise. Doesn't look anything like Swig, but I thought it's different, So
she's like a purple cloak away from like having that like all done up with with the hood. Like I love it. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I she could use maybe some kind of like Darla cape or something, some kind of dark purple. Yeah. My light doesn't really show, like this is a purple, but it's coming off as blue.
It's coming off blue, but yeah, no, it's the purple. No, that's okay.
But yeah, this is one of my favorites. I mean, like I said, I'm not a customizer, but I was kind of happy and proud that I did this. That was pretty cool. So she is my number one, Team Ragna.
I used a Ragna for a dwarf custom of my wife. At one point, I used some of the parts, but then I took a Hadriana upper torso, because then I took decal, like floral decals, put it over top because it did the purple. So I mixed like a lot of Ragna and the Hadriana to get like that short female dwarf part of it. So
you got any pictures of that sometime? You don't have to send me that.
Yeah, that's encased in my Hall of Fame in my earlier years, when I definitely know I could do much better now, and then I probably should. With the new figures coming out, I'm sure that at some point I'll be doing some updated family customs.
Awesome.
So we're looking forward to that.
Matt, number one, buddy?
Number one would be the King.
Can't beat that, man.
No, yeah, I love everything about this guy. I can't even put into words how much I love this dude. He may be, well, I would probably say he's probably my number one Mythic Legion figure that I own right now.
Nice.
Of course, that might change next week,
Right? Yeah, it's like you never know.
I absolutely love Bromden. Just that black and gold just does it for me.
The colors, the colorway on that just so sharp. The way it moves. And there's that little bit of brown, I think, through the top of it.
Yeah.
It's just so subtle that just kind of hides in there. Yeah, it's so good.
It's a well thought out, like the paint, the different colors, they just all go together and blend to make a perfect figure.
Yeah, he's great.
A lot of people have said that they don't need a version 2, like he's perfect as is. Like you don't need to improve on that figure.
Right.
I don't think, but
yeah, no, I agree.
That's my thought. All right, my man. Number one, buddy. Number one. What you got?
If Bromden's the king, current king, this is the heir to the throne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thord Ironjaw. I mean, Thord, this is, again, like I said, when I close my eyes and I think Mythic Legion Dwarf, like everything about him, like the way, I mean, even the way I have him laid out, just kind of seems like he's just running in the battle. He's done with the big axe. He drops that. He pulls his hand back. He's grabbing this sword. He's going at it. He's going to drop this shield. He's going to come back and he's going to grab this axe and he's just going to keep going. And then he's done with that. He's going to headbutt you with his horns. Like he's
he's ready for war. He's going
to go until there's nothing left in him. When we get a version 2 of him, because I believe that he is one of those pivotal characters that will get a version 2. When we get him, we as a community need to let the studio know how much we've missed him not being in our lives, and we need to buy.
Well said. I can't deny any of that.
No.
Yeah, I will be there for that. I will respond with my wallet.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I mean, keep the colorway. We get updated arm. I mean, whatever they want to do, I'm on board. I'll buy it blindly. Just tell me he's going to come out. Do it like a figure obscure. Tell me it's going to drop, and I'll just buy 10 of them, and then I'll look at it and see what I bought later.
There you go. That's it. Hopefully there's going to be a new dwarf in this, G-Con this year.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes out. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, that's what's crazy. We could hit a new island. We could hit a whole new theme. We could hit, aquatic stuff, ice things. We could hit,
Right.
It could be themed, or it could be Asian inspired. It could be, who knows? That's what's going to be awesome. And to then just incorporate this may sound crazy, but even if it's not an actual dwarf, kind of like the Kronos and something, but even if we get it in that scale, that's something that could be that island's version of what the dwarf is going to be. Like, we support it. We're going to do it. Cosmic. Absolutely. We got, what is it? Is it Ovar, right? Or is that his name? We're being told that that's the dwarf version in space. That's
a great little figure. Like that was an awesome.
And so for me, what I'm imagining is, I'm going to make that a dwarf, right? So I'm popping that alien head off. I put a dwarf head on there, and I'm thinking that's a power suit that he's climbing into.
There you go.
So it's big, so he's operating it from a different, like his hands aren't where his hands are, a little further down, and he's operating the hands like from controls, like back a little further, kind of thing. So
I like how you think.
Again, man, I charge admissions, spend time in my brain.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm excited for it all, man. Give me cosmic dwarfs, give me other island dwarf-like people, whatever. I mean, we've even gone so far as taken when they do the goblins and they use the dwarf bodies, we buy them out because we use those bodies for.
Right.
That's not the goblins buying them. That's us buying them and then throwing out the goblin heads to make dwarf customs.
That's right. Mark will catch him.
Yeah, he'll catch all that. Mac.
Well, guys, we did 2 hours, man, and that's a long episode for us. We usually don't go that far, but man, this was a special, man. We had to really give the dwarves all the love, man. So
it was fun.
I appreciate you guys staying up late and doing this. Thank you guys so much. Matt, get some rest, man.
Oh yeah.
I will talk to you soon. Anthony,
thank you for having me, man. This was awesome, man.
What a night. Thank you so much, man, for taking the time and pulling out all your dwarves, flexing on us. That's okay. I don't mind. It's great to see those amazing, beautiful art, just pieces of art, man. Thank you.
And obviously, if you're on Facebook and you're not a member of the Kings Under the Mountain, hop over there. Like I said, the only thing I ask is, we have a couple questions. Just let us know what your favorite dwarf is. Let us know what your favorite builder is. Jump in and interact, engage. You might be new to it. You might not even have one. Just tell me that you don't have any and you're interested to learn about it.
Yeah.
Everyone there is very friendly, very open. Let's expand on that. I'd love to see us hit, 800-900 members, by Legions Con this year. So
that would be awesome. Well, I hope this helps a little bit.
Yeah.
If anyone's on the fence about dwarfs, pick one up. Get a builder. You're not going to regret it. They're fantastic figures, and that opens a wonderful gateway to the world of dwarves. So I recommend it, and I thank you guys for sharing and being on here. And we'll catch you guys next time.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate you.
Take care, everyone.
Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.